So how did it feel once you? Was it a frustration that you'd never done it before, or was it just a? Was it relief you'd finally done it?
No, it was definitely a, oh, so that's what happens when you play the game correctly. And you don't run away from encounters and just kill everything, even if they are tiny.
Mhm, mhm.
Because there was very much a that sort of aspect to my original playthrough on the PlayStation. It was the I can't be bothered dealing with these tiny critters. I'm just going to run from the battle.
Of course, like
Whereas,
when I was playing Pokemon as a kid, mainly because this is how my brother played it as well. I'd run from most wild encounters, and I'd avoid trainers when I could. When they were rotating on the overworld. You do that as kids, don't you?
yeah, and then doing it in the remaster, it was a case of, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to kill this thing. I want the sphere. I want the sphere experience. Give me the sphere experience so I can get my next level up. And yeah, it just turned out that when I eventually got to that point in the game, I was the right level to be killing things.
Hmm.
And these days, even more so, I get to that point earlier and earlier on because I know what there is to do in the world, and I'm more than happy to do those things whilst I'm there, rather than coming
Hmm.
back when you get the freedom to go wherever you want.
Donkey talks about this in his Dragon Quest XI review. He says about He says that there are no random encounters, and it's all overworld encounters, and you can pretty much skip all of them if you want, and the game doesn't punish you for it. And he says this until about 2/3 of the way through, where he hit a brick wall and he had to go back and grind. Do you think that's a flaw in the JRPG experience?
Uh, RPG grinds are, or were, no, are, so it's an interesting one. They sort of went out of style.
Hmm.
Sorry, sort of towards the end of the PS2 era, and then all the way through the PS3 era. Outside of things like Demon Souls and Dark Souls,
Hmm.
that there wasn't really this element of grinding. It was more a case of the world scale to your level, so that you were always fighting at the right level.
Hmm.
But it seems to be coming more and more back into things, especially with roguelites, where you do have to grind to push further on.
Hmm.
And I wonder if that's a case. To me, it's a case of, when the PS3 and the Xbox 360 came out, developers had all of this power, and every single E3 or Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show was, hey, look how pretty we made this game.
Hmm.
Hey, look at how awesome this looks. Hey, you're going to play the same game with the same gameplay for the third time, but look how pretty it is.
Hmm.
And that sort of thing is very much typified by things like Call of Duty, by Assassin's Creed,
Hmm.
um, by uh, what's the other ones? Killzone, Gears of War. You know, you strip out the new environments, and they are essentially the same game with relatively similar gameplay,
And more
because
more to the point, they also didn't just want to make the games look good. I remember realism being a big part of the conversation. They wanted their games and their environments to look realistic, but because of that, they sort of equated that to lots of muddy browns and greys, and it was a very bland era almost for a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
popular games.
I mean, you look back at that era, and these successful games could probably be, boiled down to four main types: uh, sports games, uh, third-person action RPGs where you climb walls and hit people with swords.
Uncharted likes.
Huh?
Uncharted likes.
Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, Shadow
Mhm.
of Mordor,
Third
Batman Arkham.
third-person
They are
action
they are
adventure games
they
with
are
RPG elements.
yes. The term back then was Arkham likes. Um, and then you've got your first person shooters where you
Mhm.
run down a corridor and shoot Nazis or Russians or the Vietnamese or whichever the token bad guy was in that version.
Mhm. Or
Uh,
zombie
and then you
versions of
had
those
and
token
you
bad
had
guys.
third person shooters where you would run up to a wall, hide behind the wall, shoot over the wall.
Cover shooters.